Putin never wanted Donbas, he sought to take control over the whole of Ukraine, Piontkovsky said. Reuters Russian political analyst and publicist Andrei Piontkovsky says the efforts by Russian President Vladimir Putin to support pro-Moscow candidates in the upcoming elections in Ukraine will be his final stake. The first two failed. The first one, may I remind you, was Novorossia, that is, an attempt to stir up unrest in 12 regions in order to dismember Ukraine, Piontkovaky told Apostrophe, a Ukrainian news outlet. When this failed, he came up with the idea of pushing the so-called LPR, self-proclaimed Luhansk and Donetsk People's Republics, into Ukraine. This hasn't been achieved, either. And now there will be a third attempt to grab control over the entire Ukraine through the election campaign, Piontkovsky said. Read elsewhere. Russian political analyst, Putin's idea of referendum in Donbas, already dead. The political expert added that Putin had never wanted Donbas as such but rather sought to enjoy control over the whole of Ukraine. This is the nature of his aggression. Therefore, one should be wary of the Kremlin's active participation in the campaign, including in support, in all senses, of certain candidates, rather than its initiatives on Donbas, the political analyst said. If you see a spelling error on our site, select it and press Ctrl Enter. Latest news 1500 expert explains why Ukraine should not expect Gazprom to pay off debt. 1440 Ukrainian gas reserves up by over 65% since April 9. 1300 Rada Vice Speaker, Ukrainian hostages in Donbas tortured, sodomized. 1220 Ukrainians economic sentiment index up 2.7 points in June. Study 1140 Greece warns Russia of further measures after expelling diplomats. 1120 expert names 3 possible candidates for presidency of Ukraine. 1021 victim and suspect dead, 13 injured in Toronto shooting. Media 920 Donbas update, Ukraine reports 1 WIA amid 15 enemy attacks. 9 o'clock in Ukraine, 286,000 people live in modern slavery. 2225 Ukrainian activists march for LGBT rights in Kryvyi Rih. Photo, video, 2110 Ukraine to sanction Russian media outlets working in occupied Crimea. 1330 Reuters, Russia largely wins fertilizer case against Ukraine at WTO. 930 Ukraine's army reports 15 enemy attacks in Donbas and past day. 2350 Dynamo win Ukrainian Super Cup 2018 in Odessa with 1-0 score. 2100 more facts claim WikiLeaks Russia intel tool. 1300 U.S. allocates another $200 MLN in security aid for Ukraine. 10 o'clock Donbas update, 3 Ukrainian troops wounded in enemy shelling. 9 o'clock White House, Trump not considering Ukraine referendum. 2200 Russia's grew military intel behind Salisbury poisoning. Media 2130 gas price for Ukraine industry to rise from August. 2030 Ukraine to produce RPG-16 infantry flamethrowers. 1950 opinion careful with that spark. 1830 Ukraine official, no referendum to be held in occupied Donbas. 1750 Renault confirms mulling Ukraine-based production. 1517 National Bank inspects 506 foreign exchange booths in H1. 1446 2 years after Sheremet's murder, over 20 tests, 4 theories. PGO 1411 another member of Russian-led forces killed in Donbas. Photo, 1315 NBU estimates Ukraine's GDP growth at 3.2% in Q2. 1253 military blogger posts photo of captured Russian soldier in Donbas. 1222 Ukraine doubles grain exports to China. 1158 Sentsov's lawyer to visit his client in August. 1016 Crimean detention center ignores Baluk serious condition. Chiagaz 949 Trump asks security advisor to invite Putin to U.S.